2, 1. So before we put the varnish on the floor to make it waterproof, we thought we would do something fun. It took 10 minutes to load this thing up. That's a lot of junk. Glad to see it go. You?
Yep.
Time to varnish the barn floor. So make sure I got my lovely painting gloves on. And first things first, I gotta sweep because kids been playing in there and there's a lot of grass. And then we'll get to it. It is barn floor, so I'm not worried about it being spotlessly clean, but I don't really want grass in my varnish. So, it looks like I missed a piece. Anyways, so the reason we are putting varnish on the floor is to make it more waterproof, so it'll last longer, especially once we get goats. Don't really want goat urine soaking into our floor because it'll definitely rot out a lot faster. Plus, we wanted it to be a little bit easier to clean, which I think that will do. We looked at several options for what to do in the flooring in here, and we settled on the marine varnish, like you see it on boats. So obviously it's gonna be very waterproof. And And hopefully will help be able to fill in any of these little crevices between the plywood and such. And, you know, because it is made for boats, we're hoping it won't be super slick because obviously boats get wet and you don't want to be slipping on them. So we'll see how that turns out. But this is the option we decided to go with. I am not entirely sure the best way to apply it because it's such a large area. Because usually you would just brush it on like a railing or something that's small. But since we're doing it on a floor and it's a big area, I found this. It's for like doing ceilings and stuff. It's similar to a foam brush. So I figured I could get a larger area than just a regular paintbrush. So hopefully this will work and we won't have a lot of waste. That's the goal. Let's get to it. As usual, I forgot to get a liner for my paint can tray. So when I do that, I just like to cover it with aluminum foil. I'm gonna get long right here. This makes it easier to clean up. And another thing I always forget is paint sticks to stir it with. So I'm gonna have to go find something to stir this with because didn't bring it down here. Bamboo stick from the garden. Also glad this barn doesn't get super hot. Even when it's like 90 degrees outside, the barn stays bearably cool. Obviously it gets warm, but not like stifling. Okay, that's really good for now. Honestly, I don't think I got enough to do 2 coats over the whole floor. I should have gotten an extra can. It is what it is. So I'm going to do the first coat over the entire area, and then the second coat I'm going to concentrate more on the chicken side since we're going to be using it first. And if I don't finish out the entire barn, then we can always do more on the goat side later. So that's the plan. Let's get to work. Well, so much for doing the whole floor in the first coat. Yeah, it didn't go as far as I expected. I'm probably putting it on thicker than is really intended. That's okay, because I really wanted it thick. So it looks like we're just going to be able to do the chicken side of it now, and then we'll have to do the entire goat side at a later date. So this needs to dry for about 8 hours before I can put the next coat on. So I just went about as far, I don't know if you can see the line there, about as far as where the dividing wall is going to be. So just beyond the dividing wall a few inches. Well, it's been raining pretty much all day, but God answered our prayers and it has stopped now, so I can put a second coat on this. And 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Beautiful glossy finish. Not that we picked it for the looks, but it will make cleaning a lot easier. Did you guys find a nice little perch? Did you find a nice perch to sit on? You're crazy. You got to fall on your head.
I got my hair.
You got to put yourself up.